Welcome back here to Frozen Valley and City Skyline, where today we're going to be expanding our city even further. Now the plan for today, in the last episode, we made ourselves a very nice trades college, and it's starting to come up here. But we now need more people to fill all the spots in that trade college. So for that, we look to this intersection right here. This intersection is effectively going to be the start of our new neighborhood coming all the way through here, because we've got a ton of land to work with right here. As you can see, all of this here can be filled in. We've kind of run out of effective space on this side, as this is all really hilly. We'll probably fill this in later with really high-end housing. We do need some really dense housing in the future, and in the future we'll obviously expand here with this road here, so we can use both sides of this wonderful interchange I made. But yes, the plan for today is to make a big neighborhood on this side, and on this side, a nice forestry area. That's right, we do have the mod that allows us to have the industries, and as is quite fitting for this area, we're going to be having a lot of forestry. Very standard for this area. This is basically the only industry, maybe besides the ore. So maybe up here in the mountains we'll have some ore mining. But down here, there's going to be forestry, so big tree plantations. It'll be great. But before we get into it, today's fish of the day is Ned. Not even a fish, he's an African dwarf frog. We'll talk more about him later. Now let's get into it. Okay, and there we go. We've got our arterial road coming all the way through here. All this lane map works out here. I'm actually going to take out the stoplight. Check this out though. If I just snap my fingers, boom. The intersection is all nicely marked up. So before I start working on this industry area right here, we're going to need a lot more people to support it. That should do us nicely. We'll let them fill in, and we'll put a couple parks in, of course, and we'll let them start filling up this area here. Okay, that's all zoned in. They'll start buying up some houses in there, which is beautiful. Lots of this is high density too, so we'll have a lot more people packed into this area, which means we're going to have to set up our infrastructure pretty well. So I'm going to set up our bus lines in here, of course, and we'll make sure they're pretty thorough and get everyone to the home stop there. And we'll have I think we'll have one line that'll go direct to the middle of town and one line that'll go direct to the university. Okay, we got two bus lines set up into here. I'm going to set up some walking paths, of course, and then we'll keep moving along here. Okay, beautiful. Now that area is slowly filling in, we're getting lots more people moving in, which is awesome. I'm going to fill in this area with roads, and we'll zone it in as demand comes. Okay, we got roads in here. This is going to be a really nice big park right by the riverside here. Okay, and this beautiful park is already done here. And there we go. As that was put in there, we have now made ourselves a small city, which is awesome. Now we have access to this train, which is what I'm most excited about. And we can worry about all these sorts of things, but we can now create new connections into our city, which means when we're over here where I'm planning on putting the vast majority of our industry, I'm actually just going to put a train line there, and we can export straight from the industry. We don't even have to touch any of the other roads, which should really reduce traffic, which will be really great. But there we go. We've got a train station that comes right into the city. It'll be right by the new university, so students can come right in on the train. We'll put in a little bypass here too. Perfect. That should really enable people to come in here, and I'm just going to move this stop right in front of the train. Now that we've got that train station in, I think we should work on some intercity trains here for better public transit to each spot. So just right there, we're going to have another train station. One here, and I'm thinking just one more right up here. We have now been able to use up all the power from that dam, so we are going to actually need to set up another power station somewhere. So I think right here we will benefit from a coal power plant. Yes, we now make plenty of energy. Now I'm looking through all our policies, and I'm seeing we're not making a ton of money. So I'm actually going to go through and cut some of these policies so we can continue to expand the city, as the policies are kind of dragging down what we're able to do for everyone in the city. We had free Wi-Fi in some of our districts. That was costing us a ton of money is what it was doing. And we had to keep cranking up our taxes, and people were unhappy, and our budgets had to get dropped for everything. We can raise the budget up a little bit on some things if we get rid of those free services. Now, while we're building, we should hook up these train stations to each other with a train line, as we now have trains coming through our city. If we set ourselves up a nice rail line, we can let people transit using it, and that should benefit us greatly. And just like that, our residential demand is once again sky high. So we're going to be setting up another neighborhood here. So right up here is going to be the new neighborhood. It'll be mostly high-rises, I'm hoping. Okay, there we got some more road systems to put in. And lots of pathways. Lots of pathways will really be helping us out here soon. Okay, we got pathways in. And we got some parks in here as well. And now all that's left to do, set up a bus line. And we're ready to start zoning in again. Okay, bus lining is in. And I'll set up the zoning for everything. Okay, that's all zoned in. As they start to move in, we'll add services as required. Now, I've just set up the district for our logging, and I've put down a little main building here. And we've almost got it full of workers already, and I'm hoping the more we set up this logging district, the more workers it'll attract to the city, which means more people coming into our homes here. Now, something that I'm going to do preemptively is set up a little road here and a little road here. And we're going to set up a cargo train terminal. And this will keep the vast majority of our industry away from the town. This way it doesn't have to drive on through here and out. It can stay right where it is, which should save us a lot of traffic, which has really been our goal to avoid. So as this logging district develops, we'll slowly start using this more and more. What we can start doing to drive industry here is set up a couple tree plantations, and we'll make a couple of dirt roads for them to save us money. For example, this one will come out like that, this one will come out like this way, and this one out this way, and we'll put a bunch of plantations right on them. For now, all we can afford is 2, so that's what we'll do for now. Not enough natural resources. Doesn't this thing make natural resources? There we go. I've just fixed that problem with simulating a forest here. But we are now a big city. So in the next episode, we'll be working on putting in our university. Really exciting. All right. Perfect. We're going to keep working on this industry for this episode, but that is something to look forward to. For the first time in a long time, there is industrial demand, which is always wonderful. So they'll start filling in these jobs here. And just like that, products are starting to get shipped out. Here comes a freight train and a bunch of products off of that train, which are going to go throughout. Okay, there's a lot of stuff coming off of those trains. Okay, keep that in mind. We'll keep an eye on this intersection. It'll get busy. But as we produce stuff here at this tree plantations, we're going to set up quite a few more. We'll really start to accelerate the amount of jobs here. We are also going to put in a sawmill a little further up here, which they'll ship to and then create higher value products, and a couple of log yards. And there we go. This is a pretty nice forestry area. We have enough workers, and we just need to produce more resources, and we can make a lot more money out of this area. These areas can make a lot of money. They are kind of awesome. And now while we have the money, seeing as this is a city focused on green work, we might put up a nice recycling plant just to reduce our emissions here. Never mind, cut that out. We don't believe in that. Now, here at Concord Logging, I think we're going to change the name of that because this is a city-owned industrial area. This will be Frozen Valley Logging, as the name of this town is Frozen Valley. But this industrial area, we've got a ton of trees in here already, and it's really starting to pick up. And look at the money we're making now. We have over $100,000 in the bank. And there we go. Our forestry area is now level 2. We have access to a whole bunch of new things here, which can make us more and more money, which is perfect. So we're going to add in a whole bunch of these little tree plantations again. Now we also have access to put one more sawmill in as well. Maybe 2 sawmills because they're worth a lot more. We'll also put in a biomass pellet plant here. How much are they? 20 grand. We'll put in 2 pellet plants at the front of the logging area here. So they'll start to pick up the pace as more trees and stuff come in. Now we just need more and more of these tree plantations coming out of our ears basically at this point. There we go. This is a busy industry area now. And those resources, we already are ready for the next level. These resources are just pumping out, so it won't be long until this thing is going again. And this industry area is not only providing jobs, but also making us significant profits too. And there we go. We now are level 3, Frozen Valley Logging. We have access to much larger facilities, which is awesome. We can put in some new log yards now. Okay, we've got more large tree plantations in. We've got sawdust storage. We've got pellet plants. This is a very, very well set up area. We'll put another pellet plant in. I might move this rail line back a little bit. So there are just tons of places to work in this place now. We have capacity for over 1,500 workers of all sorts and varieties. Okay, this is already a level 4, and all we really need to do to get a level 5 is to keep producing resources. So it's really not much to do. So this area is basically completed. It's basically going to be a full-scale area. I don't think there's much else to add, is there? Engineering wood plant. Just a quicker sawmill, basically. Sure, we'll put one of those in there. Some wood chip storage. We don't really need it, but we did just get to the Grand City achievement. Beautiful way to end off the video, which doesn't give us a whole lot, but it does give us an option for varsity sports for the Chester State College, which totally needs to be changed. We're gonna call it Frozen Valley Trade School. The name of this place is going to be Frozen Valley College. Now, just before we go, I do want to put in a little thing for varsity here. So we have the option of basketball, track and field, baseball. But I think we're going to have, instead of that, an aquatic center here and save those options for the university when we put it in. But this campus is now significantly more attractive to students. Okay, we now have a swimming team as well on our college, so this is all looking pretty fancy. So Frozen Valley College right here is probably going to take off both sides now that I think about it. It's going to be Frozen Valley University. Frozen Valley Logging is more productive than ever, seeing as it just got instated. We seem to have a little bit of a traffic jam coming off the highway here, but I'm not exactly sure what to do about it. I think I'll just leave it for a while, see if this traffic clears. If not, I'll find a better solution. This area will continue to make us logs and make us money and ship them out on these trains. For next episode, I'm going to get some assets that make us have nicer this saw is loud, but make us have way nicer trains. These don't look very nice, especially when all my other assets, like I have actual vehicles, not the base game ones. I should really make nicer trains in here, but that is for another day. We've created Meadow Hills, Briarwood Height, and Frozen Valley Logging in today's episode. Major upgrades. We've made ourselves financially stable. We've become a grand city. But that'll be all the time we have for today. Now, before we go, today's fish of the day, Ned, my African dwarf frog. Obviously, they originate from Africa, right in the name. There's not much to be said about them except for the fact that they are certified beauties. I have so many videos of these guys because they're too human-like. They're kind of weird. I have 4 in my community tank. My sister has 2 upstairs. I've really convinced her to get on the frog game as well. They're so cool. They swim around kind of like a person, and sometimes they'll just freeze in space and float to the bottom and extend out and float up to the top, follow the currents. They just kind of do their own thing, and I really respect that. If for some reason the reason you are here is to learn more about my fish for some reason, I will have a link to the Instagram for those fish. It's SK Tanks on Instagram, and I used to post reels a lot on there. Now I just post little fish updates every once in a while. If you're curious about the context of why I don't post reels on there anymore, I always had reels of my tire track eel Frank. He was such a cool tire track eel. He passed away though from, I think, a swim bladder infection. I can't remember now. That was very sad. So I got very sad and then didn't post on there anymore. But regardless, we've made it a long way in our city. Something to be proud of for sure. And I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit the like button. Other cliche YouTube things. Upon that, I hope you have yourself a wonderful day.